In the previous video, I made how to draft this pattern. So if you haven't watched how to draft this pattern, I'm going to be dropping that in the description section, so you go ahead and learn how to draft this corset patterns. I have so many sewing tricks and tips that I dropped, so go ahead and watch that and come to this video. I'm going to be sharing with you a lot of sewing tips and tricks, so make sure you watch to the end so you'll be able to get this. So in the previous video, I didn't show you how I made the pattern for this corset, customized corset. You already know, if you haven't been watching on my channel, how to make customized bra cup. I have a lot of videos describing and showing you how to draft customized bra cup using a cup. Now today I use this cup. You see it has this groove here. I love this bra cup. It gives me the shape that I want. I already have made my pattern out of it, and you know, if you haven't, I think I would tag this along how I drafted this out. So we are going to be cutting this out from the fabric. If this is the first time coming across my channel, consider subscribing and hit the notification bell icon so you don't miss any of my sewing tutorials, because on this channel we share trending videos, sewing tutorials, DIY, and very soon I will start uploading my lifestyle and all the rest to the. So guys, for us to make this, cut this, I'm going to be sharing with you the things you need for this. You will be needing a hair stay. It's a cotton hair stay. It's called cotton hair stay in Nigeria. I don't know what they call it outside of Nigeria. You can drop in the comment section what you guys call it, but you can see is see-through and it's cotton. It's hard. You see how it is? Yes, this is what we're going to be using. It has this shiny part. It has this rough part on this side, and the other side is soft. This side is rough, and this side that is rough is the side that you're going to be gumming on the fabric. Next is this bra foam or hip padding. I don't know what you guys call it. You can see the width. Yes, that's what I'm going to be using. Next is the lace. Next is the cotton lining. You can decide to use this or you decide not to use it. For me, I already bought this, but I'm not sure I'm going to be using this. The next I'm going to use is satin. This would be, for me, I'm going to be using this for my lining piece and the main fabric, because I love the structure of how it is. It's going to give me the type of structure that I need. So I'm going to be using it as the main fabric and the lining fabric. Next is eyelets, and for me to use my eyelets, I have this. I'm going to be using this. I like to use this type that is big. I don't like the smaller one. Next is crinoline. This is a sewable type. That's the type I'm going to be using. I'm doing this actually for an elderly woman, so I don't want something that is too hard on her skin, so I'm deciding to use this. And then I'm going to be using zipper. I got this. I like this, but I already got this before I saw this, and I liked it, and I'm sure the woman will like it. So I'm thinking I'm going to be using this one. It's strong, so I think I'll be using this one. So let's go over and cut this. Next thing we're going to be doing is to go ahead and trace out these panels, and you know, wherever we want panels to be, we are going to be tracing them out in panels and also add the sewing allowance to all of them. So let me do that off camera and come back to you. I've gone ahead to cut out my panels, as you can see. So I want to give you a tip on how to manage your pattern papers. If you can see, you will see I have some written things on this paper, my pattern paper. It's because I've used this pattern paper before, so I reused it again. That way you have some patterns that you have used and you want to, instead of you to throw them away, you can actually use them to make another pattern, especially when it has to do with patterns that are big. So that's what I use to cut this out. So next I'm going to do is to go and cut this out on the fabric. So prepping my fabric before I cut it, I usually fuse my I usually fuse my interfacing first on the fabric before I start cutting out. That way I won't have excess when I'm done cutting out my pattern. So this is exactly what I did before I go ahead and cut out my pattern using this fabric. So let me do this off camera and come back to you guys. As you can see, guys, I've cut out all the patterns. This is the bra cup, this is the yoke, the front and the back, and I have cut this in two. There are two. I'll show you guys how to sew your yoke with net. This is the front, this is the back. The back has a panel. If you watch the video where I cut this pattern, you will understand why I cut a panel for this. Then right now I'm going to take this away, and guys, I would suggest you watch till the end so that you see some sewing tips and tricks you need for making your corset. There are so many mistakes people make when sewing their corsets, so I'm going to be showing you some tips and tricks that will make you sew your corset perfectly. Like I said, there are some things you need to do before you jump into sewing the corset properly. First of all, on your bra cup, you need to mark the front up, and every notches that you have, you need to mark them on the fabric so that you will be able to fix it well when you're sewing. If I mix this up without marking it, you can understand I will not know what this place is and what that place is. So with the markings, it will be easy for you to understand and place it rightly and sew when you're sewing it. As you can see how easy that is. Next you have to do is, if you're working with your lace, you have to, you see, this is the front panel. I have pinned my laces in place so that this, when I go to my machine, it will be so easy for me to sew. Trust me, pinning it is better than going to the machine to, you know, put basting stitches on them. It's better you use it. With this, it will come out so neat. So I have done it for the front and the back panel. Now I have to set this aside and show you guys why I cut the panel for this. So like I said, this is the back, and I have made this panel to add my lacing panel to it. I'm not going to be making a modesty panel for this. I'm going to be having a zipper here, and I'm going to still have my corset loop here. So see what I have done. I have done this, and I'm going to be attaching this here like so. This is going to be here like this. So these are the things that you will prep before you start making your corsets. So how I made this, I just took a fabric and I have added my interfacing to it. As you can see, I've added interfacing to it. So I just, from here, I measured down to the hem of the dress and use that to make this. This is the length of this, as you can see, and I have closed the upper side of this, the side that is staying up. I've closed it and left this side open. So what I did was to take 2.5 inches on fold. So meaning I have 5 inches here, and when I folded it, it became 2.5 inches. Now the first thing you have to do is to go to your machine, run 1/2 inch here for boning casing, another 0.75 for your eyelets, and another 1/2 inch for your boning casing. So as you can see, there is boning here, there is eyelet, and there is another boning. By the time we put this in, it will turn to somewhere like this. So this is what you will have here. Like I told you guys, this is for an elderly person. She might not want to use this, but I'm just adding this so that I show you this tutorial. And also, if she wants to lace it up, she can lace it up as a design. Next is for you to know how to prep for your bra cup. Remember, all I'm telling you now are the things you have to get ready before you start coupling your corset. So first thing you have to do is, I have cut my lining piece. I've cut my lining piece the same way I cut my main fabric. That's the same way I cut my lining piece, and I have joined them. As you can see, this is my lining piece and this is the main fabric. So what I did for the bra cup, I cut it exactly the measurements of my bra cup. This one, I cut it exactly the same measurements I have with this. So that's how. And I didn't go sewing it, I didn't go using the serger. I went ahead to just hold it by the tip, and I sewed it, as you can see. Then when after sewing it, you just leave half-inch sewing allowance and attach it at the tip here, like so. You see how it is? Yeah, because I didn't add sewing allowance, that's why I have these allowances all through. And when I am done sewing the main fabric, by the time I close it, this is what I will have. As you can see, this is what I'm going to be having. So that's how you go ahead and prep this, and make sure you iron your main fabric and everything that you need to iron. You will use this, your tailor's hand, to go and iron them out properly. So I'm going to do that to get my corset ready. Next is your eyelet. Guys, I'm going to show you this because I made this mistake and I wouldn't want you to make the same mistake. This is the eyelet I'm using now, and this is the eyelet I would suggest you use, and I will tell you why. First of all, I went ahead to, a client asked me the eyelet I used on one of my dresses, and this was the eyelet I used, but I didn't like the outcome. It later falls off. See, I don't know what the number this is, but you see how small it is. I went ahead to use this and I didn't like how it came out. And again, the next time I decided to use this big one. Guys, it's strong, yes, but it was too big. It's taking space of so many things, so I decided to go for this smaller one, and trust me, I love the outcome. You can see the difference between this and this. This size is 26, so I would suggest you go for this size, which is 26. I like the outcome. It will enter any lacing I want, whether big or small. If you guys haven't seen the videos on how I make my eyelet, I have a lot of videos on my shorts how I make my eyelet, so you go ahead and make your eyelets like this. So guys, see you on my next video when I'll be coupling this all properly. I'll be sewing this, and I want you guys to come back and watch how I made this. See you on my next video. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell icon so you don't miss any of my sewing tutorial. Now see you on my next video. Bye bye.